Hi friends, I'm Bhishma and you're watching my channel G Tutorial. Today is day 1 of our mission RRB NTPC exam, and in today's class we will be covering a topic from reasoning, and it is the counting of figures, and we have chosen squares first. So if you're having any doubt, you can comment below, and if you like my video, please subscribe, share and give me a like. So now let us get to our class. First type of problem is this. Here we can see that the number of rows and columns are not equal. Uneven number of rows and columns. What is row and what is column? These vertical strips are called columns and horizontal strips are called rows. So here there are 1, 2, 3, 4 rows and 1, 2, 3 column. So number of row is 4 and number of column is 3. And the number of row is not equal to number of column. So we can do these type of problem like this. Start from the greater value of the number of rows. So 4. 4 into greatest value of number of column is 3. So 4 into 3. Then decrement 1, 3. Decrement 1 from columns also 2. Then here decrement 1. Here also decrement 1. Decrement 1. Here when we decrement this, we will get 0. Do until you reach 0 either here or here. Then start multiplying. 4 3s are 12. 3 2s are 6. 2 1s are 2. Then 1 into 0 is 0. Then add it. 6 plus 2 8. 12 plus 8 20. 20 is the number of squares in this figure. So when you are getting a figure with unequal number of rows and columns, perform this operation. Start with the greater value of rows and column. Then multiply those, decrement 1 and multiply, decrement 1 and multiply. Perform this operation until any of this reach 0. Then add it. You will get the number of rows. Number of squares. Now we can do another problem. Here the number of rows is 2 and the number of columns is 3. Both are unequal. So 2 into 3, 1 into 2 and 0 into 1. So 2 3s are 6, 1 2s are 2. This is 0. So add it 8. 8 is the number of squares in this figure. Now we can move on to the second type of problem. In the second type, we will face problems having equal number of rows and columns. So here we are having 4 rows and 4 columns. So row is equal to number of columns is equal to 4. This problem can be done like this, or you can do it in this way. 4 square. This is the maximum value of rows and columns. Then decrement 1. So 3 square. Then decrement 1 2 square. Then decrement 1 1 square. Then decrement 1 will reach 0. Perform until that. And 4 square is 16, 3 square is 9, 2 square is 4, 1 square is 1. Add it. 9 plus 16 is 25, 25 plus 5 is 30. So 30 is the number of squares in this figure. Now we can do another problem. Here the number of rows is equal to number of columns is equal to 3. So start from 3. 3 square, 2 square, 1 square. Then 0, we will reach 0. So 3 square is 9, 2 square is 4, 1 square is 1. 9 plus 1, 10, 10 plus 4, 14. 14 is the number of squares in this figure. Now we can move on to the third type. This is the type 3. Let us see the first question. This is the first question. This is similar to the previous type. So here the number of rows and columns is same. So R is equal to C is equal to 2. So start with 2. 2 square is 4. Then 1 square. Then 0. So 1 square is 1. 4 plus 1. 5 is the number of squares in this problem. So we can say that whenever we come across a plus within a square, the number of squares is 5. There is a plus within the square. So the number of squares is 5 directly. There is no need for calculation. Now based on this, we can see the second problem. This is the second problem. Here we can see that within the square there is a plus. So here there is 5 squares. Then here also there is a square with a plus within that. So here also there will be 5 squares. And then this there is square with 5 plus sign. So here also 5. So the total number of squares in this type of problem is 5 plus 5 plus 5. 5 plus 5 plus 5, which is 15. This is the second problem. Now we can see the third problem. So here we are seeing there is a square with a plus within that. So here there are 5 squares. Then here also there is a square with plus within that. There is 5 squares, but this square is counted along with this square. So there is only 4 squares. In next figure also there is 5, but this square has been counted in this. So 4 squares. Here also 4. Here also 4. Only in the first figure we are taking 5 squares. So this is how to do this problem. Then add. 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 16. 16 plus 5 is 21. Next question. Here we can see there is a square with plus within that. So here there are 5 squares. Here also 5 squares. Here also 5 squares. Here also 5 squares. So 5 4s are 20. Then we can use the type 2 type. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here also 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 4 by 4 square, where row is equal to column is equal to 4. So 4 square plus 3 square plus 2 square plus 1 square. 4 square 69, 3 square 9, 2 square 4, 1 square 1. Adding it, you will get 25 plus 5, 30. Then 30 plus this 20. So 50 is the total number of squares in this problem. Here first you have to count the inner squares. So there is 5, 5, 5, 5. So 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, 20. Then you are using the initial method. There is 5 rows and 5 columns. So apply this method. Then you will get there are 30 squares. So 30 plus this 20. 50 is the total number of squares in this figure. Now we can move on to the next type. This is the next type problem. Here as we have seen in type 3, there is a square with a plus sign. So when there is a square and a plus within that, there will be 5 squares. Then 5 plus, there is a square like this. So 5 plus 1, 6 squares is present in this figure. Square with a plus sign, 5 plus this square. So 6. Next question. Here there is a square with plus sign. So here there are 5 squares. Here is a square with plus. So 5. Then here there is a square with plus. So 5 plus there is a square like this. So 6. 6 plus 5 plus 5. 5 plus 5, 10 plus 6. 16 squares are present in this figure. Next question. This is the next question. Here there is a square with plus sign 5 plus this square 6. So 6 squares. Again the figure is like that. Square with plus this. So 6 squares. Then this one is only a square with plus sign. So 5 squares. So 6 plus 6, 12 plus 5, 17 as a number of squares in this figure. Now we can see the 5 type of problem. Next is type 5. This is the type 5 type question. So we can see the number of squares in this. First let us consider this largest square. And this is similar to our type 2. So consider only this. 1, 2, 3. Number it 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So the number of rows is equal to number of columns is equal to 3. So the number of squares present within that is 3 square plus 2 square plus 1 square. So 3 square is 9, 2 square is 4 and 1 square is 1. So 40. Plus 1 square is present here, 1 square is present here, 1 square is present here, and 1 is present here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 14 plus 4. 18 is the number of squares in this figure. This is the type 5. Now we can see the type 6. This is the type 6 question. Here we can see that this is a complex figure. So if your numbering is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, we are using the type 2. That is this method. Then the number of squares is 4 square plus 2 square, 3 square plus 2 square plus 1 square. So 16 plus 9 plus 4 plus 1, which is 30. Then let us consider a similar square within this square, which is placed tilted. This is that square. Here also 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this square will also form 30 squares. So this 30 plus this 30. Okay. Then here is one square. Here is another square. Here is one square. Here is another square. Here, 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 here. So 2 plus 2, 4 plus 2, 6 plus 2, 8. Then again we can form 4 more squares. This is one square. This is another square. This is another square. And this is another square. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 72 is the number of squares that can be formed from this figure. I think you are clear with this. First you have to form 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the number of squares present in that square having equal number of row and column is 30. Then if you are considering this square which is placed tilted position, you will also get again 4 by 4 square which is having 30 squares within that. So 30 plus 30. Then this squares which we have left behind. 8 squares are present. So 8 plus this larger square. 4 such squares. So plus 4. So 72 is the number of squares in this figure. Now we can do one more problem. This is a question. Here you can form 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So this is a square where the number of row and column is unequal. So the number of squares can be calculated by 4 into 3, 3 into 2, column, row. This is unequal. 4 into 3, 3 into 2, 2. 2 into 1, then again we will get 0. So 4 3s are 12, 3 2s are 6, 1 2s are 2. So total is 6 plus 8, 20 is the number of squares. Then you can count a square like this. 1. These are its vertices. So this is a square. Then you can form 2 more squares. This is a square and this is a square. So 1, 2, 3. So 20 plus 3. 23 is the number of squares present in this figure. So with this we have come to the end of the topic, counting the number of squares in a given figure. If you are having any doubt, you can comment below. In exam you will be facing problems similar to this or complex problems where you can use any of these 6 concepts. Thank you.